The fuck?
I need an adult. Ew. No, yes. What? Oh, are we starting?
Now.
Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Two Dumb Bitches.
I am Lucy.
And I'm Sienna. And we're the...
What is that doing? That's better.
Dumb Bitches. I don't know how to start this one.
Okay.
Trigger warning.
Yeah. So we're thinking we might turn this into a little bit of a series, maybe.
Probably, because we have a lot to say about it between the two of us.
Yes.
And a lot of first-hand experience.
So something that we have mentioned before is that we've both been in abusive relationships.
Yeah.
And so that's something that we want to talk to you about a little more specifically.
We're going to kind of, scratch the surface when it comes to narcissistic partners. Yeah. Now, one thing that I do want to address first, maybe a little bit controversial, but also, what's new? I do feel like there's been a little bit of a thing about everybody just with any type of toxic person that they date. Mm-hmm. People are like, oh, I was with a narcissist.
Such a narcissist.
Such a narcissist. Oh, this person wouldn't stop talking about themselves. They're such a narcissist. And on one hand, that's really annoying because my whole thing that I always go back to is if we're throwing around a word and saying that everybody is this thing, it's invalidating the people who genuinely went through a narcissistic relationship.
Yes.
Because truthfully, I have been in different types of abusive relationships, not necessarily just with partners, but with parents, with mostly family.
Yeah.
But I've pretty much experienced all forms of abuse.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that there is one that is worse than another. I truly don't. I think each
different.
Type is a different type. But narcissistic abuse, out of all of the types that I have experienced, I think my experience with a narcissist has been the hardest for me to heal from.
That's valid.
I think it's taken the most amount of time, the most amount of rewiring.
Yes.
And the most amount of just like effort on my part.
So it's not a term that we use lightly.
No, because here's the other thing that I do also want to talk about, because I said to one of my clients not too terribly long ago, I was like, yeah, my ex-husband was a narcissist. And she was kind of like, okay, well, everybody uses that word. Was he clinically diagnosed? No, he wasn't. But here's the thing about narcissists. And because she also said, there's a lot less people who are narcissists than what people think. Mm-hmm. Of course, because narcissists aren't going to go get diagnosed.
Yes.
Now, I will say, when it comes to my ex, he didn't ever receive an official diagnosis, but my therapist, who was she's not a psychiatrist, but she was a psychologist.
Yes.
She met with him and like we did couples counseling a couple times and she was like, oh,
for sure.
Yes. Like clinically, I'm not really allowed to give him that diagnosis because I'm acting as a therapist right now. But
if I was, I would.
Yes. And she was not the only one educated person who said that. But would he ever actually consider that he could potentially be a narcissist? Absolutely not. So I do think that that's a little bit of like, just as I guess a disclaimer of like, we're not using this term lightly. No, our people were not clinically diagnosed, but I think probably 90% of narcissists are never going to be diagnosed.
No.
So.
Because they're not going to be in therapy in the first place. And even if they are, they're going to lie and manipulate their therapist.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Which is kind of the biggest, I guess, kind of where we want to start today.
Yeah.
is that first impression. The first impression of a narcissist is always so wonderful and magical.
Yeah. You never know when you first meet them.
The thing is, though, is that now that I've been through it,
You can see it.
I can clock it pretty easily. And for a while, I was like, I think I'm just projecting. I think I'm just scared. But now the other guy that I dated, I don't think he was necessarily a narcissist, but I do think that he was a toxic POS.
Yeah.
But I clocked that.
Yes.
But I was like, no, I'm just projecting. And so I dated him anyway. And I was correct.
Yes, you were.
My intuition of it was correct. And it was based off of my interactions with him. And I picked it up pretty quickly. And now that I have been through that, it's a lot easier for me to
Recognize the signs.
recognize that pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So I will say that. But if you have not interacted,
No.
oh my gosh, it's so hard to pick up on.
They can be incredibly charming.
Can be. They normally are.
Yeah.
They normally are.
And that's something that is hard when you are starting to kind of realize what's going on because the other people around you might not
Oh my gosh.
see it. And so they're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
He's such a nice guy.
Yeah. So for me, I'm just going to talk about my experiences and then you can talk about yours and we can kind of compare our notes. So for me, I met my ex-husband. We were set up on kind of a blind date of sorts, just through like a mutual friend. It was kind of a weird situation, but whatever. And actually, we started texting first, okay? So I had a temporary phone number while I was waiting for my permanent phone. I don't know what was up with that, but I had a temporary phone number. And we were texting, and I think I just didn't like him. Like, he wasn't picking up on my sarcasm. He wasn't, I don't know. He didn't want to play. And I don't vibe with people who don't want to play.
Yeah.
And we had, again, never met in person yet. We just had each other's phone numbers. And so I decided I didn't like this guy. I had no desire to actually go meet him in person. I was, nah. And so when my phone number switched to my permanent one, I just didn't give him.
The new
Maybe
number.
that was shitty of me. Maybe I should have like let him down and been like, hey. But I also didn't really feel like he was feeling me either.
Yeah.
And so I was just like,
We'll just let it peter out.
Yep. So that's what I did. My phone number switched and I just didn't give him my permanent one. And the girl who set us up, because I guess they were talking and he was like, I haven't heard from her. And she was like, oh, it's because her phone number changed. Here, let me give you her new.
Oh, no.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting there going, I didn't lose his number. If I wanted him to have my phone number, I would simply text him.
Like, girl.
Yeah.
Or check with me at least.
Literally. So she gave him my new phone number. It turned out he wasn't feeling me either, but she was like, give it another chance. Oh.
Thanks.
Yeah, look where that got me. So he texted me. I gave him another chance. We hung out. And that first time that we hung out, it was just like, we just talked about everything. We agreed on everything. He was like, it was almost like as soon as he met me in person, he picked up on my banter and the way that I like to kind of go back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
He picked up on my humor. Mm-hmm. He threw back the weird jokes. There was no hesitation.
Yeah.
We stayed up until like 5 o'clock in the morning talking. Just talking.
Yeah.
It was so easy. It flowed. He wanted to know everything about me. He wasn't hiding anything, telling me anything. He was just like, here it is. You want to know? Like, let's talk. And I was going, where have you been all my life? Like, this is amazing. This is magical. And then I think we were able to date for maybe like a month before I went off to college. And the thing is we were also doing the thing of like, we won't date while I'm at college because that's dumb. And then it was, no, I like you so much. I will fight for this. I want to date you so bad. I'll come visit you. And he did come visit me. And if you would have asked me after month 3,
Uh-huh.
I would have been like, no, this relationship is still just magical. I can't stay mad at him. Like, it's just written in the stars. But looking back now, I can see all of like the little cracks and the weird things, you know, him texting me and saying, oh, I had to drive home a bunch of drunk girls from the bar. They stuck their hands up my shirt. And when I said, did you tell him to not? No, I didn't want to make anybody mad. It was just because they were drunk. Oh, I got a text from my neighbor. She was letting me know that she's wearing her thigh-high boots tonight and wanted me to know that she's missing out. Right? Oh, my coworker asked me to go to her cabin with her, but it's just going to be the 2 of us, and they're doing renovations on the rest of the cabin, so we'd have to share a room. I'm thinking about going. But then when I said, hey, some of my college friends, they're planning on going to this event that we always go to. Like, are you cool if I go? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. And then we really got to figure things out. If things are going to work, things have to change.
Well,
right?
okay. So let me, before we get too much further, let me talk about mine, because there are going to be some parallels here.
I'm shocked.
So I met mine when I was still in high school as well. It was the end of my senior year, and I met him through I did spotlights, like tech for the theater program. And so I had been invited to do the same thing for the middle school. And we had a mutual friend who was also in tech with us. And so that's how I met him, was doing this middle school tech program. And so we spent hours together after school every day for like a month. And we didn't actually like get together until the very end, which is like such like a storybook thing. It's like it was closing night, everything had gone so well, and we'd had like insane chemistry, but like, you know, making eyes at each other and everything, but nobody had said anything. And then he was walking to me to my car at the end of the night, and we were walking down the hallway, and it said on the clock 11:11, and he pointed it out and was like, make a wish. And then we got back to my car, and that was when he kissed me for the first time. And then he was like, what did you wish for?
And you said that?
Me too. And it was really sweet. He was super attentive. We went to the same high school. We weren't in the same grade. But for the rest of the year, like, we would meet up in the middle of class to like kiss by the bathrooms, and like,
there's no more romantic spot than making out by the bathrooms.
I know. But like, just couldn't get enough of each other, and we would talk for hours and hours and hours, and I would get in trouble every time I hung out with him because I would come home late, and but we were going to break up when I went to school. And I was going to school for summer semester because I got into the school that I wanted, but it was like, I wasn't quite good enough to get in for fall. So they're like, if you do summer to like ease you into it, then we'll let you in. So that's what I did. So I only had like maybe a month off in between graduating and going to college. And that entire time leading up, we were saying that we were going to break up because we didn't want to do long distance. It's too hard and all that stuff. And then I know I told this story in another episode, but the day before I was like leaving, I had snuck him into my house, and well, my parents were at work, and I think my mom had actually taken my brother on a field trip. So she wasn't supposed to be back until later, but she came home early to like surprise me, and she was going to take me out for nails and have like a day before I left, and he was still there. So then I got in trouble and like had to take him home and everything. And I actually snuck out later that night to say goodbye to him. And it was, I don't want you to go. I like you so much. Like, I don't want to break up. I can't believe this is the end. Like, please don't leave me. And so we decided to do long distance. And that summer he was really sweet. Long distance.
So wait, how long had you guys been together up until this point?
Maybe 2 months.
Yeah, okay. That's about, well, because I'm going to call my ex Buzz.
Okay.
Uh,
We can
That's-
call mine Fender.
Okay, I like it. I like it. I wish that you guys could know the behind the scenes of where these names are coming from, but I like it. Buzz and I had been together, I think it was about a month before I went to school.
Yeah.
And then I was at school for 3 months.
Yeah. So I think we were together maybe 2 months before I left. And then we were together over the summer. So it was like June, July, August. And I came back at the end of August.
So did you see him at all?
No.
Okay.
Because I went to school 2,000 miles away.
Well, so did I.
Yeah.
And Buzz came to visit me, but he also was an engineer.
Yeah. He was living on his own.
He had good money.
Mine was a high schooler.
Right. So mine came to visit me, and again, which is comical to look back at because I literally sat there and was like, everything is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But looking back, every time he came to visit me, we wound up fighting about something.
Mm-hmm.
Something. It was always the stupidest things, too. But we'd always fight.
Yeah. So we didn't get to have that, but we would Skype every so often.
Mm-hmm.
We Skyped a lot at first.
Mm-hmm.
But then as time went on, we'd end up fighting over Skype. Or like he wanted to text me 24/7. Every morning when I woke up, I got a good morning, beautiful. You know, at first it was like we would have all these, like, we'd have real conversations over text.
Yeah.
And we never talked on the phone, which I think is probably should have been a red flag. But
Maybe. I mean, some people don't like to talk on the phone.
Yeah.
I don't know. That one's tough for me because I'm not really a phone talker, but also I make exceptions.
Well, and the thing is, so one of the things that I had to deal with was my mom had, because I was on my parents' phone plan, and she honestly was doing this to protect me, not that I saw it that way at the time, but she restricted my text messages and my data. And so I think I got like 100 texts a month and maybe a gig of data.
Damn!
And so
that's not a lot.
No, so I blew through that immediately.
Yeah.
And so the only way I could talk to him was if I had a Wi-Fi signal. So like considering that, the fact that he still didn't want to talk on the phone is a little odd.
Yes.
And what ended up happening with that was it got to the point where I felt like I had to be available to him at all times. And so that really restricted what I was able to do because I had to have Wi-Fi. And so I would, like, my roommates and stuff would invite me to go hang out and I'd say no. And like go to activities and I'd say no because I wouldn't have Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And he would get mad if he couldn't reach me. So like if he decided that he wanted to talk and I wasn't available, like
he was pissed.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the other way around.
No.
It was you're being so annoying if you were trying,
You're being clingy. I can't talk to you all the time. Like I'm busy.
Yep. So my experience as far as that, I think was a little bit different because for me, it was more of a sense of, it was like I would be trying to talk to him and he would talk to me. But then if he knew like, okay, I'm going to my lab practice, you know? So it's like, just if I was going to some sort of event with my friends, oh, I'm doing family home evening, we're going floating down the river today, or, you know, we're whatever the case may be. Whatever. He would not text me at all during this activity period. And when I finally was like, why
are you ghosting me?
It was because, oh, well, you're doing an activity and I don't want you to feel like you have to be talking to me all the time. So to me, that was almost like, oh, wow. He's like
being really respectful.
He's giving me this freedom. He's allowing me to be my own person and hang out with my friends, which is I think, an abnormal approach for a narcissist to take.
Yeah.
But what that turned into, what I realized, is that turned into me needing to give him that same respect when he was going to do something. But that also became incredibly confusing for me, because then it would be, well, why weren't you texting me? And I'd go, well, because I thought that we had the mutual agreement of, when you're out doing your own activity, we don't blow each other's phones up. And then when we get home, we tell each other about it.
Yeah.
But it would be used as, why aren't you talking to me? So it was very confusing. And I don't think that that's a normal approach.
And I'd have that same kind of argument too, where it was like, you know, I'm trying to talk to him all day and he's barely responding to me.
Yeah.
And then I'm getting ready to go out with my friends and it's, oh, well, but I wanted to talk to you.
Interesting.
And you're not available.
I think that's more the typical approach.
Or like, you know, if I was in a situation where I could still had contact with him, but I couldn't respond as frequently, it was like, oh, so when I want to talk to you, you're not available.
I did have, this is kind of similar, but also kind of not really. I don't have proof that this is what was going on, but I'm pretty sure that this is what was going on. So there was a period of time where I had been using Snapchat pretty frequently to talk to a bunch of my friends. This was in like 2014, so Snapchat was pretty common. And every time I got a snap, I would get the notification and I would go in and it would be opened. And so I would send a snap back and I'd be like, sorry, what did you say? But it was with one person. It was one of my guy friends. And they had met.
Did he have access to your account?
He wasn't supposed to. I'm pretty sure that he was logging in, because I had been signed out of Snapchat 3 times. And I was like, the app is glitching. I don't know what's going on. And I'm pretty sure that it's because he was trying to guess my password and then accidentally kicking me out too. And then finally he got in. I'm pretty sure he was going in and he was opening my snaps. Yeah. So he was very sneaky with his trying to figure out what I was doing, who I was talking to. Even though it was like every time that if I was Snapchatting this guy and like around him, I'd be like, here's what he said. You know, like it wasn't an inappropriate relationship in any way. And also if he would have said, hey, I'm not comfortable with this, then I would have been like, okay.
Yeah, especially at that point.
Right. And I had already asked him too. I was like, well, are you uncomfortable with this?
Right.
No, totally fine. Not an issue at all. So.
Yeah. Well, and he would do that thing where it was like, if you make a complaint about something, say you have a completely reasonable complaint. Like, so if I said something about, you know, you need me too much. I can't go out.
I already know what you're going to say. Do it.
I can't go out with my friends. Like, I just want to go out and do stuff. Like, and you're getting mad at me. He would turn it around and be like, I'm such a horrible boyfriend.
Yep.
You would be so much better off without me. I'm such an asshole. Like, I don't even know why you like me.
All I do is make you miserable.
And then I ended up comforting him.
Yeah, yes, every single time. Mine had this go-to phrase that was always, oh shoot, I just forgot. He said it all the time. What was it? Oh, everything I do is for you. Every move I make is to make you happy. And it seems like nothing I do is ever good enough for you. So it was like the whole phrase of like, I'm sacrificing and giving everything to you, but it's just not good enough for you. And then I would have to turn around and be like, no, that's not at all what I'm saying.
Yes.
We got in an argument once about Pokemon Go. Did I ever tell you about this argument? It was insane. So basically, long story short, he he was the type of guy who had to be the best at everything. And a lot of the time he succeeded. He wasn't naturally the best at anything.
But he would work hard enough.
He could work hard enough to be the best. He did this with Pokemon Go. And at first it just started off as like the game that he and I would just go downtown and play together. It got us out of the house. It got to the point where he was playing while he was driving.
Mm-hmm.
And he almost drove us off the road one day because he was trying to catch a Pokemon. And I was like, you need to knock that off.
Yeah.
Because I don't like it when people are on their phones when they're driving. Don't be a fucking idiot.
Yes.
Put your phone down. It's not that serious. You're risking your life and other people's lives to send a text message that you can send later.
Right.
If it's that important, pull over
and that's
make
why
a phone
they
call.
Had to add that feature in where they made you say whether you were driving or not.
Yes. But obviously it doesn't actually stop you from playing while you're driving. Anyways.
You just say you're a passenger.
Yes. And so that's what he would do. And I had like offered to play for him. Like I was like, do you want me to catch the Pokemon?
That important to you?
Yeah, I will play for you. No. Okay. So at this point now I'm mad because I'm like, this is ridiculous because now you're risking our lives and other people's lives for a fucking game.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously? Anyways, I pretty much kept my cool and I was like, hey, can you please not? Like, I didn't like yell at him or anything. He got so mad. He stopped talking to me. He gave me the silent treatment, which was also a huge thing. It's just the ice out treatment.
I got that all the time.
Yep. And honestly, that's probably going to need to go. That's probably going to need to be talked about on another day because that's a whole thing in and of itself.
That's later on.
So he gave me that. We drive all the way back home and he's still pissed. We started fighting so bad. I think he left for a little bit. I'm pretty sure car keys were thrown. And it was like, I'm not going to stop playing Pokemon Go for you. And I was like, so are we getting a divorce? I don't actually think that we were married at this point. I think we were just like engaged or something. We were engaged. And it was this huge blow up fight over Pokemon Go. Why was I telling this story?
Comforting him.
Oh, yeah. And instead of him just simply saying, okay, I won't play Pokemon Go, it turned into me being like, if this is what you need, then by all means. Yeah, which is absolutely ridiculous. How are you going to be so mad at me because I asked you not to play a game while you're driving? That now I have to turn around and tell you that it's okay? Is this real life? And then just a quick little, and this will be another story too, but like the little icing on the cake, about a week later, a lot of stuff had happened in between this. He finally was like, I messed up. I made a mistake. Like, that's so dumb that I can't stop playing a game to make you comfortable and make sure that you're safe. And I was like, wow, thank you so much. Like, I never thought that I was going to hear this. And like 2 years later, he was like, I just said that. You think I actually meant that? Pokemon Go. You couldn't even give me a real life apology for Pokemon Go? So here's the thing, after that tangent. Is people say, like, especially if I tell a story like that, right?
Yeah.
People are like, well, why did you stay with him? If he acted like this, if he treated you like this, why did you stay with him?
Why didn't you leave?
Why didn't you leave?
When he's saying that he wants to go to a cabin with his coworker and share a bed with her.
Right. Well, first of all, because whenever I called him out for something like that, it was that I was the crazy one.
Yeah.
And how dare I accuse him of having an inappropriate relationship with his coworker?
Why don't you trust me?
Why don't you trust me? Why don't you stop going through my phone?
You're only looking for things to get mad.
And it doesn't matter if there's nothing there or not, because you're looking for something, you're gonna find something and twist it. You're creating this narrative in your own head. You're making yourself mad. What have I ever done to make you not trust me? And as stupid as it sounds that works, it works. It works really well. Maybe not the first couple of times, but the other thing is that narcissists typically target damaged people.
Vulnerable people.
I think vulnerable is the better word. People who oftentimes have been mistreated themselves, and they
Yes.
don't want somebody else to feel that. And so they become people pleasers.
Yes.
And that's absolutely 100%. I was a people pleaser.
Yeah.
That's still something that I struggle with. And because narcissists target those types of people, they are typically easier to manipulate.
Yes.
And they do. And
they also start small.
Oh, so small.
So
small.
they'll because they're expert gaslighters.
Yes.
And so they'll start with the little things where you can go, oh, maybe I was just looking at that wrong. Maybe I was just being dramatic.
Yep.
And over time,
it's like putting a frog in hot water.
Yes. You question reality. It changes the way you perceive reality.
100%. My other thing too was that I finished one semester of school. And while I was at school, a lot of my classes were online, or like my homework was online.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would be going out to my family home evening or going out to my mutual, blah, 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 blahs. And I would come home, or I would come home from work.
Yeah.
And he would be like, hey, I know you had a lot on your plate, so I did your chemistry assignment for you. And at first I was like, wow.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And then it turned into I was actively trying to beat him to my homework because I was going, I have to do my own homework. And it got to a point where I was not going to be able to pass that class without him.
Because you didn't learn anything.
Because I didn't learn anything, because he wouldn't stop doing my homework for me. And I kept asking him, can you please stop doing my homework for me? I have to do this myself. And he just kept doing it and making an excuse. And then after the 3 semesters is when he basically was like, you're not having a good time at that school. Like, you don't like being there, which was true.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, I think that you should move home. And your degree is online and you'd be happier. And I was like, you're right. You're absolutely right. And so I had planned on doing that. And then he was like, all of these apartments are just so expensive. You should just move in with me.
Mm-hmm.
Which sounds so stupid that after 4 months of
basically
long distance too.
Yeah.
He convinced me to move in with him.
Yeah.
And then next thing I knew, he was like, hey, I combined our bank accounts. So, okay, at this point, we've been together for 6 months, and now I'm starting to see the red flags. But now our lives are intertwined.
Yep.
But the bigger part, aside from, because I do think a lot of narcissists, they move quickly.
Yes.
They strike quietly but quickly.
Yes.
To then by the time that their mask starts slipping, you're going, how am I so far in with this person? But beyond that, and I think this is probably one of the biggest things, is now the mask is slipped. You're fighting more. You're being told that you suck, all of these things. But at the very beginning,
it was so good.
It was so good. I know that's possible.
The relationship you dream of.
Yeah, that you'd been waiting for.
That you've been praying for. In movies.
Yeah.
And you had it. It was yours.
It was real.
But you messed it up.
Yeah.
And it's in your power to fix it.
You can get back to that.
And they'll tell you that.
Yes.
It would be like that, but you're just too clingy. Like, you just need to give me a little space.
You weren't this clingy when we first got together.
Like.
Or mine was always, we're just going through a rough patch right now because things are stressful because we have this bill to pay. Well, it's just you just moved in, so things are a little bit stressful right now. But once we get past this, we'll be right back to where we were.
School's just a little hard right now because, it's midterms and I have to study and I just don't have as much time.
But it'll be better once we get past this. Once we get past this hurdle, we'll get back to the way that things were.
I just miss you so much because you're so far away. But when you get home for Christmas, it'll be better.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's thing after thing after thing of why things aren't the way that they were at the beginning. But they keep stringing you along with that hope. And again, it's not like this false promise that you're going.
You lived it.
Yeah, it was real. And now suddenly this person who I stayed up talking until 5 o'clock in the morning with, I can't have a single actual conversation with him.
He won't say more than 2 words to me.
He doesn't even want to look at me when he walks through the door. What have I done?
How did I mess this up?
How did we get here? I don't understand. And when you finally say something, it's either A, you're being dramatic, it's all in your head, I'm not acting any differently, or B, well, you've done this thing.
And if you could just do this, it would be better.
My favorite example of this, I might have shared it in another episode. Same kind of thing was going on where I was just going, I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. And so he was like, well, when I get home from work, because he would leave for work at like 4 o'clock in the morning and he would get home at like 10, 11 at night. And I would wait for him. I wouldn't go to bed without him. I would wait for him. He would get home and as soon as I walk through the door, you run up, you hug me, you give me a kiss, and you start telling me about your day and asking me about mine and all of the things. And it's just a lot to walk into after such a long day. And I went, okay, so what do you need me to do then? And he said, I think if you could just come up and give me a hug, but just like wait for a second. Okay, so I would do that. No, it's too much. I need you to sit on the couch and you can ask me, or you can tell me about your day, but you can't ask me about my day. Okay, so now we're no contact when he walks through the door, and I have to kind of like filter what I say to him when he walks through. That turned into, no, it's still too much. I need you to just say hi and then give me a second, let me decompress. Yeah, okay, I can do that. No, it's just a lot because the dogs are still down with you. So this just kept going and going and going. And at the end of it, what it turned into was so I had 2 dogs. When the garage door opened, the dogs instinctively ran upstairs because it was, as soon as we heard the garage door open, the 3 of us needed to go upstairs and get in bed and be quiet until he decided that he was ready to come in. And he still wouldn't talk to me. He would get in bed, or he would shower, get in bed, roll over, turn his back to me, and go to sleep. So it's exactly like that, but in everything that they do.
Yes.
Where it starts so small, and you're sitting there going, okay, so what do you need from me? And they just progressively shrink you more and more and more over time.
Yes.
And I think that a lot of people really don't understand that.
And you get more and more desperate to fix it.
Oh, it's bad. It's bad. There were times where I genuinely felt like I was going crazy.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't know what else to do. Or my personal favorite is the love bombing. Where it was basically just, I would feel like I was going absolutely insane. And then I'd finally be like, I'm leaving. And all of a sudden it was, no, I'm going to do better. I'm going to be this person. And he would be. I would get that glimpse back into the very beginning of our relationship.
For a little bit.
And then suddenly the behavior would change. And I would say, what's happened? And he would say, you're not giving me enough space. Or you've been staying late at work and I don't know why, even though I'm going, I work. I'm working. I work at a restaurant. Of course what? Looking back, I'm going, you don't get home until 11 p.m. Sometimes I get home before you. Make that make sense.
For me, it was, I would go crazy at school and then I would come home for a break and I'd be love bombed then. But it's like, if you can just make it through school once we're together, everything's great.
See, and I don't like that because I feel like that long distance aspect for you almost makes it an excuse for him to just kind of ignore you.
Yeah.
while you're gone, and then, okay, I just have to make it through a week or two, however long.
And those visits were always great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're very sneaky. One warning sign, though, that I definitely noticed now looking back on pretty much every interaction that I've not only just had with a narcissist, but just with just toxic people in general, is they always seem to play the victim. When they're talking to you about their past and their past people, it's always, this person wronged me. Everybody in my life has wronged me. All of my exes, they've all done me dirty. And I get it. When you break up, there's always going to be things that are like, man, this sucked.
That was shitty.
But I had a lot of exes that I maintained, and I know that's a little weird. I maintained friendships with a lot of my exes. And even now as an adult, where that's not really a mature decision to make, I don't have bad blood.
No, you can look back on your relationships and go, we weren't right for each other, but they weren't a bad person.
Yeah. Whereas when I first started dating my ex, it was every single one of his ex-girlfriends had wronged him.
And I didn't get that experience, but I think that that's a factor of us being so young.
Yeah. So he probably didn't have the experience.
I think I was his first victim. If you want to use that terminology.
Yeah. Yeah. But that is one thing. And so now if I talk to somebody and they sit there and they're like, I'm not friends with this person anymore, and all of these incidences were the other person's fault. Ooh, red flag.
Yeah.
Red flag. That's probably not the case. And like I said, that has been with not just partners, but also friendships, family, random interactions across coworkers.
Yeah.
I've had coworkers do it and I've gone, keep your distance. Got it. So that's a huge, in my opinion, one of the biggest red flags.
One that I think of is if they don't really know you yet, but they tell you that you're special.
Oh, that's a good one.
You're not like everybody else.
I've never felt this way before.
I've never met someone like you.
Yes, that is a good one.
Yeah.
That is a really good one. Yeah, I forgot about that one.
He used to do that to me. And what that turned into was at the end of the relationship, I was weird. You're not normal.
I don't think he ever said that I was. Well, he did tell me all the time that I was like sick in the head, which I was. No, I think it just turned into him telling me that I wasn't special.
No,
I think that's all that turned into, was I'm just like everybody else.
Why would you think you're special?
Yeah, yes, that's what it was. Because at the end of that relationship, I really was a shell of a human, and I did not think that I was worth
anything.
Yeah, that's a good one. They do like to do that. There are a couple phrases that I didn't realize. There's this guy. He is on, I need to stop playing with this. He's on pretty much everything. But he has a podcast. I think it's called Mental Healness.
Okay.
I don't remember his name. I think it's Lee. Anyways, he's a diagnosed narcissist.
Okay.
And his whole thing is basically, I'm a narcissist. Ask me a question. I will answer it from the perspective of a narcissist.
Yeah.
And I'm going to stitch all these videos and be like, this is what this person's doing.
Yeah.
Yes, this is a toxic human being. Why was I saying this?
Phrases.
Oh, yeah. So I stumbled upon him shortly after my divorce. And I was like listening to it. I think he just popped up in my feed and I was just watching a video and I was like, whoa, Buzz used to say this to me all the time.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, when I was listening to his stuff and I was just going,
oh shit.
What? And one of the biggest ones, and this is a common phrase that I think a lot of people know, is, I'm sorry you feel that way. I hate that phrase. If you want to piss me off. Or this one, I don't know if it's a common phrase, but this is what he used on me. And almost every single argument is, well, you're just emotional. You're not using any logic.
Uh-huh.
Logic is real. Emotion is not. Therefore, what you're telling me is not true.
Mm-hmm. This is bullshit.
Uh-huh. Or if I would say, you said this to me, he would say, well, I don't remember that. And I'd say, okay, like, that's fine.
Sure.
But then that became, I don't remember it, therefore it didn't happen.
Uh-huh.
It's okay if you don't remember saying something or doing something.
I mean, we've done that all the time.
Yeah. But also our response is, I don't remember saying that. I'm not saying that it didn't happen, but I don't have a memory of saying that.
Yeah.
And then we'll sit there and run each other through and be like, this is what the conversation was.
Well, this is the context.
Yes. But no, in his case, it was, I don't remember saying it, therefore it didn't happen.
Yeah. Therefore, you're a liar.
Yeah.
You're
Yep.
making it up.
Yep. I had a pretty gnarly bruise on my leg from him pushing me into the couch one day. And he told me, I don't remember doing it, so therefore it didn't happen. And I was like, I literally have the bruise. And he said, well, for all I know, you stumbled into the couch. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, the gaslighting is real.
It is real. It's really real. Like, I know it's like a joke for people to be like, oh, we're going to gaslight each other for fun. I do it. Okay, it's fun. But when you're like legitimately getting gaslit,
It's not fun.
it's actually terrifying. I think looking back on my relationship and seeing the things that I believed or was convinced not to believe,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my grip on reality was woof.
Yeah, same.
And looking back, it's like, how did I fall for that?
Why did I put up with that?
Yes. But the other thing too is that you were probably the only person who either saw through him
Mm-hmm.
or told me. Now, here's the thing. After my divorce, everybody was coming out of the woodworks. Oh, we
Uh-huh.
never liked him. He sucked. He was the worst. Bull fucking shit. You did not see through him because how many times did you sit there and say, wow, you are so
Uh-huh.
lucky to have found somebody with a good head on his shoulders. He takes such good care of you. Wow, he really treats you like a princess and you are being an ungrateful little snob, aren't ya? Oh my gosh.
But I didn't.
But you didn't because you had experience. But that's the other thing.
And I remember when you came to live with us that August for a little bit. You were telling me about it. You were engaged at the time?
Yes.
And I remember specifically, we were in the car talking about it. I remember telling you that it reminded me of Fender.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you were the first person to ever say anything. I had one friend who lived with he and I for a little bit, and she was like, dude, what? And she was a good little, because sometimes I would be like, oh, well, you know, I'm pretty sure I'm the crazy one. And she would be like, dude, I've watched it. I've seen it happen. You're not the problem here. But I'd never believed her because I couldn't, because he was saying otherwise.
Yeah.
But I think that's something that's very scary about being in a relationship with a narcissistic person, is that unless you are surrounded by people who have experience with it, most people are going to be blindsided by the charm.
And even if they aren't, because I had friends who were like, why are you still with him?
Yeah.
If he's treating you this way, I don't understand. What are you doing? Like, you don't deserve this. You deserve better. And I ignored them.
Yeah.
And I lost friendships.
Yes. Which is a hard pill to swallow.
Because I didn't believe them.
Yeah. I think it's hard being the friend in that situation is really hard because there's truly nothing that you can do because the person is not going to believe it. But also at a certain point, I was begging
for somebody to say something.
Yes, for somebody to tell me that it was okay.
So, like, my advice as a friend in that situation, because I've been on both sides.
Yep.
Is be honest.
Yes.
Tell them what you think, but don't abandon them.
Don't abandon them. And that's hard because
it is hard.
Sometimes
You have to
it's
accept
exhausting.
that they might not listen to a single thing that you're saying.
Yep. And that they're going to continue to bitch to you and complain to you, but they're not going to do anything to fix it.
And they might get mad at you for telling them things that they don't want to hear.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it is better to have said something and known that you did the right thing.
Yes.
And be there to take care of them when they are ready to face the music and try to leave.
Yeah.
Than to not have said anything at all.
And I also, when I look back at like our relationship, because we weren't super close at this point. We were just kind of like truly getting to know each other. And I was never mad at you for the things that you said. In fact, I do remember when you were sitting there telling me the things that you were telling me, I was going, thank God that somebody is not telling me that I'm the problem. Because that's how it was with the rest of my family. The rest of my family was saying, well, you're difficult. You're hard to deal with. In the case of my mother.
Yes.
Told me straight up that I was pretty much unlovable. And that if I didn't get my shit together, that I was going to wind up alone. Because I was incredibly impossible to love.
Yes.
And so then having you actually go, sorry, what did you just say? Even though I didn't listen to you at that point, then when it was time for me to leave, eventually I found so much comfort in you. And I think even though I never had the mindset of being angry at you, if I had, I think in that moment I would have gone, hey, Lucy, I was an asshole. And I think that that's just kind of how that.
And I mean, I was never mad at my friends either.
Yeah.
I was sad, but I was just sad.
But also then being abandoned by those friends because you already feel so isolated when you're in that type of relationship.
And it seriously damaged those friendships.
Yeah. Yeah.
It didn't end then, but it ended not long after.
Yeah. So as a friend, hang in there for as long as you possibly can and be honest. Don't keep it quiet.
No.
And I think that as a person in the relationship, this one's hard because on one hand, it's like listen to the people around you. But also on the other hand, I think because I was listening to the people around me, truthfully in my relationship, I needed my mother's permission to exit that relationship because literally the day that she gave it to me, I left. But I was listening to all of these people who were telling me that I was the problem when they knew nothing about this relationship.
No. Well, and I had the experience because we had a mutual friend group. So it was my two best friends that were telling me that he was not treating me well. But all of our other friends who weren't privy to other information, he was actively poisoning against me. And telling them that I was crazy.
Oh my gosh.
And that I was doing all this insane shit and I wouldn't leave him alone.
Yeah.
And towards the end, I was crazy.
Yeah. That's how it goes.
And I had one who was the mutual friend that we had at the very beginning who ultimately sided with him over me and told me that I was crazy. And that I needed to leave. But because I was the problem.
Yep.
And I don't talk to those people anymore.
Yep. I think for the people who are in it, don't just pay attention to the people who are close to you. Because again, my mother was close to me. But she never had my best interest at heart.
No.
You have to kind of sort through your surrounding people. Honestly, truly, if I would have listened to my gut, because I had been saying probably a year after he and I started dating that, oh, we're not going to last. Oh, this is going to go up in flames. This is going to be terrible. So I think that if I would have A, listened to my gut, and B, not listened to a lot of the people around me, but was very selective with who I did. I don't even know if that's making sense.
You have to be able to discern who genuinely has your best interest.
And if you can't, listen to yourself. over everything else. I really kind of, and I feel like most people who have been in a relationship like that will always at some point look back and go, I knew from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that this wasn't a good relationship. Listen to yourself. I think again, if I would have just not texted that bitch back.
Right.
I didn't like him from the beginning.
Right.
But I didn't listen to him because somebody else, or I didn't listen to myself because somebody else told me.
I knew long distance was a bad idea.
Yep.
If I had just followed through with breaking up.
Yep. It would have been better.
That relationship derailed my life for a long time.
I'm still picking up the pieces.
Same.
I've picked up a lot of them. But there's still a lot to go.
I am still affected by that.
Yeah, which is wild.
And it's been over a decade.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
And I've gone to over 2 years of therapy.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
Like, it's when people are dismissive and go, well, why don't you just leave?
Oh, it's not that easy.
It is not that simple.
Nope.
It takes a lot of bravery and inner strength.
Yeah.
To, when you're in that state, to choose yourself.
Yeah, and to stay too, because I had also stay as in stay away.
Yeah.
Because I called off our engagement at least once. I tried to break up with him multiple times, and I told him that I was divorcing him and had contacted lawyers once before I had actually left. But because I was in close proximity and it was so easy for me to just be near him, it didn't stick.
Yeah.
It took me literally driving partway across the country to another state for it to stick.
And I mean, truthfully, I never had that strength. I will always say that the best thing that he ever did for me was dumping me.
Yeah.
He set me free.
Yep.
I did not free myself.
Yeah.
And I don't know what possessed him to actually do it.
Yeah. Well, because, I mean, part of the thing is that a lot of narcissists will push you to break up with them so that they can be the victim. And I think that's what it was.
He met his match.
Yeah.
Is that I was so broken that it was never going to happen.
Yeah. And I think in my marriage, I mean, I had been trying and begging. I think I said in another episode that there was literally a point in time where I was quite literally on my hands and knees sobbing, begging him to let me go.
Yeah.
So I think he knew that I was kind of coming to my last leg, but I also think that he did a really good job of dimming me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I am a very big, loud personality. I'm opinionated. Don't talk to me like that. Who the fuck do you think you are? And he squashed that.
Well, he drugged the hell out of you.
He did. Actually, yes, he did. I was on a lot of medication.
That you didn't need.
No. I probably needed some of it. But I mean, I'm completely unmedicated now and I'm okay.
Yeah.
I've definitely got some struggles, but I'm okay. I did not need half of that medication.
No.
I was on mood stabilizers. I was on antipsychotics, sleeping pills, anti-anxieties, all of it.
To keep you quiet and to keep you compliant.
And I think his hope was that that he could beat me down enough to where I would just kind of give up. Yeah. I also think that there was probably a part of him. This is a little trigger warning. I think that there was a very large part of him that was hoping that I would kill myself so that he could
be the victim.
Oh, bad victim. It's horrible. Horrible thing happened to me. I think that when people say, why didn't you just leave?
You have no idea.
You have no idea.
And you can't unless you've been in that situation.
No, it's an incredibly difficult difficult thing to get out of. I mean, to the point that at one point I was willing to unalive myself. I don't know why I'm censoring now when I didn't like 30 seconds ago.
Fatality.
But that, fatalitying myself,
Fatalitizing? No.
Okay. Yeeting myself.
There you go.
Was an easier option for me than leaving.
I get
Leaving
it.
seemed way scarier.
Truthfully, if he hadn't have broken up with me, there's a very large part of me that believes that is how it would have ended.
I think, unfortunately, that is a reality for a lot of people in that type of situation. And that is heartbreaking. And truly, if I didn't have a roommate at that point, it would have worked. So,
yeah,
that's a really scary reality to look back on, and it's reality for a lot of people. So, yeah, telling someone, well, why didn't you just leave? I'm sorry, but if offing yourself seems easier than leaving
not easy.
Not an easy option. So, don't talk about it if you haven't been in it. That's bullshit. That's annoying. That pisses me off so bad.
I, for one, am really glad that it didn't end that way.
Me too. For you. Woo!
Actually, when I got the news that you were leaving him, I was so happy. I knew that you were going to be a mess.
Yeah.
But I was so happy for you.
Yeah, it was kind of wild. I think a lot of people didn't really believe it. And a lot of people also, when I told them, they went, why? And that was crazy to look back on.
They have to justify it.
Yeah, and to go, oh, right.
You don't know.
You have no idea what's been going on.
What I've been going through.
Yeah. Because I also think that a lot of people in those relationships, like I was still always played it off that I was just happy all the time at work.
There were probably 3 people on this earth who knew.
Yeah.
And that was my 2 best friends and my mom.
Yep.
And my mom didn't even know to the extent.
Yep.
Because honestly, I think she would have done more if she had known.
Yeah.
But she was, and rightfully so, she was worried about my relationship with her because I was pushing her away.
Which is also a very common thing.
Yeah.
And I kind of did that with my best friend a little bit too. Like we still had a relationship and she knew that things were not good. Which is also kind of sad to look back on because when she looks back on things, she was like, it got to a point where I told her husband that we needed to basically have an escape plan. Like if something happened, we're going to California, we're picking her up and we're holding her hostage. Her. Yeah. But even though that was her mindset, I think to this day, I don't think she even knows half of it. I don't think she even knows the worst of it.
No.
So I think that's part of it too, is if you have somebody who's telling you that they're in any type of abusive or toxic relationship, if you go, oh, well, it doesn't seem that way, you need to take a step back and realize that you know what somebody has allowed you to know.
Yeah.
Because it's also really scary to share that.
Because you feel crazy.
Yeah, when you think that you're the problem, why would you tell people that?
I'm horrible.
I don't want people to know that I deserve this treatment because that's what it is.
Yes.
Is you get treated this horrible type of way.
Why would I be shitting on my partner? That's not fair to him.
Right, exactly.
When I'm the problem.
How dare you? You're betraying his trust or their trust. And I'm the one who caused this. I don't want my friends to know how horrible of a person I am.
Right.
How embarrassing. They all think that I have this magical, mystical person, unicorn thing.
Right.
And now I'm about to just let them know that I'm ruining everything.
Yes.
And self-sabotaging, because that was also another thing that I got told is you're just self-sabotaging right now.
Yes.
Which is an important thing to take a step out and think, am I self-sabotaging? But
you are, just in a different way.
Yeah. Yeah. But Yeah, I think this will be a series if you guys want it to be.
Yeah, if you want to know more, we've only scratched the surface.
Oh, yes. Just a tip of the iceberg. So, I think that talking about this type of relationship is really important. And I do think that there are a lot of people who are talking about it, but I think more people should.
Yes.
Because like I said, I mean, I was with mine for 6 years and I had no idea. I just stumbled upon a podcast and went,
yeah.
Oh, even though my therapist had said, hey, he's a narcissist, I went, okay.
Honestly, it never occurred to me until you brought it up that mine could be one.
Yeah, because, and again, it's like, even though my therapist and multiple other people were like, there's some narcissism, my brain just went to, oh, he's self-absorbed.
Uh-huh.
And it is what narcissism is, but it also is not really a good explanation for what it actually is. I think a lot of people don't truly understand what a narcissist is and the different types that there are.
Mm-hmm.
And what it looks like and how it affects other people.
And maybe we'll go into that in another episode.
Maybe.
Let us know if that's something you're interested in.
Yeah, let us know. Because if you don't want to hear about it, then we won't rant about it. Well, we might.
We might anyway.
But let us know if you want us to. Anyways, on that very high note.
And if you're in a relationship like that, just know that you're not alone.
Nope. Find someone to talk to. If you want to send us an email,
we'll talk.
Yeah.
I'm never going to turn somebody away.
Nope. Anyways.
Hang in there, guys.
Little kitty cat poster. Hang in there. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in.
And check us out on social medias. We're getting a little more active.
We're trying. You're trying.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm
supporting.
We're mainly active on TikTok and YouTube, so check us out there. Give us a follow.
Hoot on, bitches. If you type that in, you should find us.
And we really enjoy your comments.
Yeah, genuinely love the comments.
So keep it coming.
Yes, we love it. We love the different perspectives and the
debates and
debate. Yeah,
it's a good time.
It is a good time. So yes, please comment. We like it. We like it a lot.
Alrighty, we'll let you guys go.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Every villain is lemons.
What were we talking about?
I don't remember. One butthole.
I'm fucking delicious.